Yo, what's going on? It's the Heavyist podcast, weekly worship of the altar of radness. We are here with Jim from Mastiff, and we're about to talk about, I think, all of our favourite bands. I think I can easily say that, which is
as a collective group of three.
Collectively, we are here to talk about the new album from the Acacia Strain. Let's get it.
Let's get it on. Yeah, man. The Acacia Strain, 5-piece heavy band. Don't you dare call them deathcore. They come from Albany, New York. Their new album is called You Are Safe from God Here. It's their 12th or their 13th album, depending if you consider the double album to be 1 or 2 records.
They're considering it as 13. So.
I think they're calling it their 13th record. It's released on the 24th of October through Rise. Boys.
Every time.
Damn. Before we go into this record, I was thinking it might be nice to just take the temperature of like when we all got into the Acacia Strain. Where was the first time you heard and what was the first record you bought?
That's a good call. Jim, do you want to go first?
3750. It was after it had been out a while, and I went to see Unearth, and the guy who I went with brought it, and he went, "Oh, I've got these with me," and I was like, "What's that?" And that was it. What's that? What's that? That's good. I like that, and that was the rest of it.
That's good.
I like that. I like that quite a lot. What is the more of? Oh God, I think there was 3 or 4 maybe albums at that point, and I was like, "Yay, giddy up!"
Hell
yeah.
I'm probably somewhere in the similar region, but I mean, I remember I would, back in the old internet days, you kind of download it off of. I used to use SoulSeek, so you'd like just go through someone's entire record collection and just download it all from them. And I got like 3750, and I was like, I kind of loved, sort of really enjoyed it, but never really stuck with it. But then Wormwood was when I was like obsessed with the band.
Yeah. 2010.
2010. I mean, and then I went back and I kind of boned up on the stuff that I'd kind of missed a bit. But yeah, that was the point where I was just like, I think the Acacia Strain might be one of my my top 5 favorite bands.
I think I quite enjoy these.
Yeah.
For me, it was the Dead Walk. I remember buying the Dead Walk in HMV.
Wow.
I remember like just looking at the pig with all its guts and stuff hanging out, and I was just like, I am so down. I'd heard them on MySpace before that previously, and I knew what I was getting into. I hadn't seen them live or anything, and then like from that sort of album on, I was like buying every album like as soon as it came out. Like I was down HMV the day Continent came out, and they were always a band that I adored, but it was absolutely Wormwood that just threw them into another league for me.
Yeah.
Like that album was just unreal. I have such specific memories of. We were driving to a download that my friend was playing. I was driving. We were all going for the week. Like a couple of us were going for the weekend. We were going to get the wristbands to drink just endless amounts of free booze the entire weekend. Like it was just the most immaculate vibes possible. It was going to be just the best weekend. And that album had just come out, and we listened to it about 7 times, like just through constantly on the drive up, and it just completely cemented them as like one of my favorite bands ever. I just adored everything about them. I just adored the absolute misery and the sheer apocalyptic, nihilistic outlook on life, and just the brilliant hooks and the way that they would like construct breakdowns around just ridiculous hooks. Like, yeah, it cemented them as like one of my favorite things, and they've never stopped being one of them really since then.
No, they've never. I can't think of a bad track, let alone an album. It's ridiculous. It's just,
Me and Son have talked about this before. I struggle with Death is the Only Mortal. I just think the production of it is really difficult to penetrate. That's the one record in their back catalogue that I've kind of always found to struggle with. But it's not
even that
record.
Well, even that though, I mean,
the sound of it doesn't really. It just hits my ears really.
The mouth of
horribly,
the river. That's just. They found her body. Oh man, I'm just doing it in my head now. I could just do like there's bangers on it, even though it's not the greatest sounding record in hindsight. It's full. It's full of tracks, and
struggle to listen to it, so I would never pick to put it on. I'd always end up with something else.
Yeah, Brain Death.
There's no. I have no problem listening to that at all, just because it's them.
Yeah, I mean that's fair, and like kind of coming up to sort of more present day, like they've been on really, really rare form. The last few records, I feel like on a career that's like 10 out of 10s, they've been hitting 11s and 15s, and now we're here with this record, and this record's probably a 24.5 out of 10. Like this record's ridiculous.
It's fucking it's nuts. I said to you two tonight, it was just like, how do they keep doing this?
It does.
And I know you said you gave an answer.
Well,
but
this is the thing. Is like if you look at the Acacia Strain's Wikipedia page, they've had 15 members in their time, but they have been sitting on a fairly stable lineup for the last kind of 5 years-ish. Apart from on this record, it's the first record with their new drummer, Matt Guglielmo, who you may know as also being the drummer of End. He's a producer and a songwriter, collaborator with a lot of other bands, including Boundaries, Fit for an Autopsy. Like he's worked at, I believe he's worked at Graphic Nature in his time. Like he's a man who's kind of been around the scene, and I kind of feel like him coming into the band has injected even more life into a band who are already very much alive, if you know what I mean. Like I don't know if you've been watching these studio diaries.
Yeah.
Like he seems to just fit so well into the band. They're all kind of a bit nerdy and a bit goofy, and you know they have these really funny in jokes, and he just seems to really just settle into it so well. And I just think the energy that they've got as a collective at the moment is just really exploding into these incredible records. And him coming into the band has kind of made them, maybe because the last few records they've been, you know, experimenting with ideas. Obviously the last was the kind of the double album, you know, you've had like It Comes in Waves and these different things that they've been trying, but this feels like they've kind of just gone a bit back to basics, kind of honed back in on their key sound a bit more, and have really like renewed energy around that like core Acacia Strain sound on this album, and I think it's really, really working for them.
I'll agree. I think they've sort of maybe not thought about how can we release this weirdly and coolly.
Yeah, what's the like the thing that makes this the interest? The blank album. Like there's no like this is the drone album, or this is the slam album. There's none of that. This is just the hardest, heaviest thing we can kind of think of in the moment, and it's going to destroy your face.
Yeah. Stop fucking about and do it.
Yeah. They've taken the energy that they had on the double album, and they've sort of refined it even further. They've got, instead of it being a couple of longer tracks, it's one absolute beast at the back. There's like, there's a B-side, and there's very much like a logical endpoint to the tracks, and then this kicks in. And I feel like they've sort of they've gone like, that was cool, but maybe what's cooler is one concise, brilliant album that addresses the similar themes and like the genres that they were knocking into. Like, this is mostly a bunch of like under 2-minute tracks again. Yeah. Like, save the final track, and I think they've really just, over the last few records, they've just distilled like what makes an Acacia Strain track memorable, and they've just made it as lean, as brilliantly as possible. Like, you get these really impactful tracks, and but they're like 2-minute bangers. And I feel like they've got this brilliant formula down, and it's kind of like that that episode of The Office with when Jim goes to the pool party at Robert California's, and he's like I'm a master of leaving early, right? I know what you got to do. Early, you got to get an in joke. You got to take a picture with somebody. You've got to do something like there's another thing, a third thing,
Yeah,
I
an
can't
epic
remember.
story or whatever.
An
it
epic
is.
story
Yeah,
that people will remember, and then you can get home a bed by 9.
Yeah.
And like, and on this record, they're exactly the same. Like Vince is like, I'm going to say something absolutely horrendous that's brilliant. That's like a massive hook. There's going to be a sick breakdown. There's going to be like some scrunky like pinch riff stuff, and that's like it. That's all we need. We need to like, and it's just this brilliant distilled version of what the Acacia Strain should be.
Yeah, man.
That's the best analogy I've ever heard.
It's so true, man. And I think something else that really stands out to me with this record is it feels a bit more agile than maybe the last couple of records. I mean, it's if Continent, a Coma Witch, or like heavyweight boxers, this one's like a Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter. Do you know what I mean? It's just got a little bit more. It's just a bit more like there's moments where they go kind of like grind and stuff that are.
Well, there's
really
like a
interesting.
black and roll bit on it, isn't there? It's like, what? That was. Yeah,
dude, that big moment in Acolyte, it's this big like rocky moment, and it sounds like it could be in To Ride by Entombed. It's so sick.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
It's so sick. I love it, and it's this brilliant standout moment. And there are so many bands that would build an entire track around that, and they would go back to it and they would play it 4 times, and that's not what they're doing on this record. And they've been known to build out brilliant tracks before, memorable tracks with hooks and choruses and big breakdowns that repeat and drill into your brain. But here it's none of that. It's do everything once, do it well, and fuck off. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. I really like that approach. I really think it works well for them. I think, like, thinking back, is it the Money for Nothing where they did the Money for Nothing?
Oh, yeah.
EP? And there's the song Money for Nothing that's got that big, like, bluesy like like riff in it, and they did build an entire song out of that. But I just think it works in this, like, just kind of teasing you with these little ideas and just chucking these little things in here and there that kind of take you by surprise.
There's even really Timberlake bloody lyrics in it, isn't there? It's like, is he just wrong something about Cry Me a River? I was like,
he did say Cry Me a River. Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Cry Me a River of Blood, though, isn't it? Is that the lyric in it? It's produced absolutely perfectly as well, can we just say? Like, how many bands do you reckon are out there saying that Randy LaBeouf is the 6th member of their band? And but it's so true. Like, I think in the way that he puts an album together, it feels like it's such a painstaking labour of love. Like, there's some producers out there who you go to them because you want their sound, you want their kind of style. Like, maybe you go to Kurt Ballou because you want that like HM2 rock as a vibe. But it feels to me like people go to Randy LaBeouf because they're going to get the kind of producer who's going to draw out the best version of their band from what they've got and pull the best version of them forward, rather than making them sound like somebody else, or bringing the band to the producer. It kind of feels like it works the other way around. And the results, I mean, you think of all the different bands that he's produced and how signature their sounds are, but he always makes them sound as good as possible. And I'm so glad that the Acacia Strain and Randy LaBeouf have struck up this really good relationship, because the resulting sound that they are getting on these records that they've been making with him are just absolutely perfect.
So some of it actually sounds, to me, it sounded a bit industrial almost. It was so processed, but in the best way, so over processed. I'm like, it's literally on off on one of the riffs, and I can't. It's like, what? It's like blocks of riff. It's weird how it's like so cubular, but it's like, oh my god, that is so cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's
he's such a good producer.
There's like slatherings of like a full of hell styling throughout this record that I really appreciate, and I feel like, you know, the Vincent like smashing like loads of highs on this as well. Like, you know, we're getting more and more highs from him as the records come, and he's just sounding the best he's ever bloody sounded, mate. Sacred Relic, that track is bananas. Like, that track has like 3 different phenomenal parts that are insane, right? That, like, I don't want help from a dead man. And then there's this sick this breakdown where it goes, I don't love you. And and then it hits. And I feel like that's like the next like viral moment, like incoming. I feel like that's like a TikTok trend coming in, like this like big like I don't love you, and then a sick breakdown. Like I've already written like 14 memes about it. Like as I've been listening to this record, like I can see people's like other people's like it makes so much sense. Like and if Kubla Khan can do it with that like 2 thing, like I would love to see the Acacia Strain like explode slightly off of a very cool like weird little viral thing that people could take on. Like I think it's just there for the taking. Like when people
Well, I think
get their
that
ears around
the black and roll thing, the acolyte riff, vocal riff, that would be the one that probably sends them into the stratosphere weirdly off TikTok. If because it's such a chant in it. I mean, I don't want to give the game away till tomorrow, but it is just a hell of a like. Wow, that's such a dirty line of hatred.
It's so cool. Vincent's properly on one. Like in the studio diaries, I discovered that like his lyrical process is to just make notes here, there, and everywhere, and then kind of pull it all together in an area, and then just kind of find the parts that he likes from these random like brain dumps and pick them out, which is really interesting because that's actually the same process that Rivers Cuomo from Weezer uses. And you didn't think anyone was going to compare the Acacia Strain and Weezer, did you? You didn't think that was going to happen.
Never.
But there you go. And I think like it means that he's he just kind of has a collage of these disturbing ideas, and he just kind of gets to pull them all together and just create some of the bleakest stuff that he's ever had. Like even like in like Eucharist 1, where it's like citizens of the world despair.
Oh yeah.
Or like Heaven is Full, that's incredible. Punish every living thing. Like there's so many little like, just little lines. You could turn them into haikus if you wanted. Like they're just incredible, man. Incredible.
Morning Star, I love that. I love that that's a track. I love that there's like it's like less than 3 minutes, but it's a track that like has like post metal elements. It's bananas. Like the atmospheric like inclusions on this record are fucking gold. They really do elevate it. Like they take it into this brilliant place. Like it's just unreal. Like and as well, there's a lyric in that one that's like, oh no, I don't think you're going to make it is the track. It says, all problems are a nail if your hammer's big enough. I love that. I love that. There's just lyrical gold spilling out of this record. I've got to compliment
stoked. Also the last track on it, the girl who's her name eludes me. It might be Sunny
Farris.
She's in Blackwater.
Holy Light.
Holy. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm so glad I stumbled across that band.
I love it when the Acacia Strain do that, man. Because obviously Vince has got such a thick, horrible voice, and then they did it with like Iris.exe on the last record, and they've had it with like Courtney LaPlante in the past. They just bring these really like delicate, ethereal female vocals into their sound. But like I could probably do a 10-minute podcast about that last track, man. It's incredible.
It's beautiful.
It's so cool. Like, obviously they've got previous for like doing like Observer or even like Tactical Nuke, where they just do those last tracks that are just these kind of crazy, interesting deviations from what's been going on the rest of the record. And I think the way that they've done that on Eucharist 2, where it's just this incredible closing moment, is really, really cool. And the twists and turns that happen in the song are so good. Like you never kind of know what they're going to do next, what the next moment in the track is, what's going to happen. Like it just kind of throws you off all over the place. It's really disorientating, but in the best way. Like that track is so cool.
Yeah, it's just the whole album's just fucking faultless. Let's just say it. It's fucking I wish I was 50% behind him, because I'd be fucking happy.
What I love about this so much is that it covers a lot of ground stylistically, and for a band, as long in the tooth as they are, I just appreciate so much that like my favorite bands are like playing with what they should do. Like they're going out and they're going, right, the new record, let's write the best fastest song we've ever done, let's write the best slowest song we've ever done, let's put some things in there that we've never done before, let's try things. They're not just going through the mill. Like I said with you, Jim, I hate when like I think it's cool that you did an EP, because I think like just being in this like creative treadmill is probably not really good for anyone. And like a band of their size, like this is their like main job and life, and they need to chug out records.
And they've always been really consistent with releases as well, haven't they?
Yeah, and for them to attack it in a way that's just each time so brilliantly creative and doesn't feel like they're resting on their laurels or just picking up a paycheck or just appeasing a record label, like just putting out something that's fucking the best version of like what they're into at that time. It's fantastic. Like they're in it. They're in it for the right reasons. They're making music for the right reasons, and it speaks to people.
Mate, absolutely nailed that. Like to the uncultured outsider, you could listen to what the Acacia Strain do and think, oh, this is just like breakdowns. But like, there's so many more layers to this band, and people who just write them off as a deathcore band are idiots. And
absolutely.
they're completely missing out on one of the most creatively exciting bands that kind of have ever done it.
I can't even think they've ever been a deathcore band.
No, I don't think so. They tour with
maybe
a lot of
3750, maybe they were nearly, but I mean, they're not
existed
even
at that point. I think maybe they're like
probably, it's probably
deathcore.
predating it.
They're part of the things that inspired it to happen, but they're just not. They're just a massive metal band. They're a bunch of hardcore kids. They're inspired by all sorts of things and not just music. In fact, maybe they're inspired less by music than they are by films and comic books and stuff. The video games these days.
Video games, yeah.
And like they just keep surprising me. For a band who you think you can't possibly have any more tricks left to show me, they keep surprising me and they keep doing exciting and interesting things with every new release. And I'm so glad that the Acacia Strain is still hard at work and still doing it. And I really hope that they come back over to the country off the back of this and we can go and see them. And, last time I saw them, they were so incredibly good. But the set was just a bit shorter. I just wanted more of it.
That's
being
it.
Greedy.
Yeah.
I just wanted more. And I'd love to see them come and do a headline because they don't seem to do many out of US headliners. Like,
well, I've seen them we saw them at Manchester maybe 2 years ago and they were headlining. But they still only do 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's the one I went to the one in Bristol where they were touring with what they called.
Oh.
Was it
good journalism.
Yeah, they were sick, weren't they?
I'm not frozen, so
I'm sure I was enjoying it at the time, but it's just completely left my brain the second the Acacia Strain come on stage.
Yeah, exactly. That's who you go to see then. I mean, without being a knobhead and stealing the thing, but I actually shit my pants because Vincent gave like Mastiff a shout out, and I was
no way.
What the fuck?
When did that happen?
So
That's
cool.
sick.
That was at that Manchester show, and we were like,
no way.
Has he just said on it? We were like, and two other people who were with us went, he just said your fucking name. We were like,
nah, Jim. He's really into dogs, isn't he? He was probably shouting out the
he was like,
dog,
big up to Mastiff. He was like, thanks for coming. And we're like, oh, what the fuck?
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. I can sort of like die a happy boy with that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Like, fuck.
Yeah. Just, the channel is, we don't do reviews. We just like to just get excited about heavy music. And what is there to get? Can't get more excited than when the new Acacia Strain album hits the shelves. This one absolutely rips. It's called You're Safe from God Here, and you just need to go and listen to it, and I'm sure you will. And then come to YouTube looking for someone else who's as excited about it as you are. We're your boys.
Yeah, come circle jerk. We're all here.
And we're here every week.
We're all here. The grey shrew's here.
We get excited about new bands.
Yeah, the grey shrew's here. Yeah,
the grey shrew is always in residence. It's always here in our hearts and our minds. But yeah,
pre-YouTube that, ladies.
If you like what we do, give us a sub. That'd be lovely. Drop a comment. We're pushing for 1,000. We're really close, so we might even be at 1,000 by the time we might. Hopefully, that'd be cool. But yeah,
that'd be sick.
Stick around, and we'll see you soon.
Please push them over 1,000. Please push them over 1,000.
Please.
We'll
Thank
speak soon.
you. Love you. Bye.
Thank you.